Well, guys, it's great to have you on the show for the first time. Of course, we've got CJ, Maggie, and Lulu all on the phone from GFM, and it's great to have you guys on the show. So how's it going?
It's going good. We're excited to be on the show.
Oh, well, fantastic. I'm excited that you're excited. That makes me happy. Well, now, I know a lot of people are probably hearing about you guys maybe for the first time, and so if one of you guys wants to take this and run with it, just kind of let us know a little bit about how you got started.
Well, we all started because our parents, they never did any music growing up or anything, and they wanted us to kind of have like a fundamental base of music. And so like you can do piano for a couple years, and if you don't like it, you can quit. But we just want you to have like that sort of thing. And so I'm Maggie, and so I grew up playing piano, and Sita grew up playing piano. And Sita wouldn't practice. And she's like, I just want to play guitar. I don't want to play piano. And so they got her a guitar. And then when it was Lou's turn to finally start playing piano,
I did not want to play piano.
I'm not even touching the piano.
All I wanted to do was play drums. I used to play the pots and pans in the kitchen with like spoons and stuff. All I wanted to do was bang sticks equipment.
So we just ended up playing all kinds of different instruments, and our dad was like, well, I mean, you guys all sing, you play a bunch of different instruments, why don't we just start a band? I mean, we got enough people, and you know, Maggie, piano's not hard, so you can play bass too, because bass is not hard either. You can be double instruments. I'm like, okay, thanks, Dad. But we started out as a cover band in 2011, and we were playing like Casting Crown songs, we were playing Skillet and Petra, which is Christian rock songs, and then in 2014 we decided we wanted to do our own thing, and writing originals was more fun, and so we wrote our first EP, Death of Giants. We recorded that up in St. Mary's, Georgia with Stan Martell. We had a fun experience with the first time being in the studio. And then in 2016, we started work on our debut album, Identity Crisis. We got to go to Nashville for the first time. We got to meet Jake Jones and Justin Forshaw, who are our producers for the album. And we met all these guys who we were fangirling because we grew up listening to them. And then we realized that they're just normal human beings and musicians. We now we're friends with them. And so it's just been a blast getting to meet all these people and getting to perform our album live. And that's kind of how we became GFM.
Nice. You had mentioned that you guys have been kind of doing this in some form or another, at least kind of learning and playing music and whatnot since, you know, say like 2008, 2009. Do you get a lot of people who just assume that you guys just started, like that you guys have like been playing instruments for a short time because you aren't that old?
Well, we definitely get the question, well, how long have you been playing? Like all the time. And when Lou says, well, I've been playing drums since I was 4.5, people are like, what? I had no idea 4.5-year-olds could even play drums.
And they don't realize that I'm 12 because I'm so tall for my age.
Yeah, and they're just completely blown about her playing for so long. And then we're just like, yeah, we were kind of brought up on music. We've been playing since we were like 2 years old. And so it's just kind of a shock to them. They're like, oh, okay.
Nice. As people might have figured out by now, I mean, you guys are all siblings, and y'all are as you know, I mean, even your average band getting started, you're still fairly young. What did you guys think was going to end up being your sound when you first started deciding to write your own music as opposed to just covering other bands and stuff that they had done before?
Well, I definitely think that we have progressed with where we're going as a music thing. We definitely, when we started, we did not think that we would get as heavy as we are, like as we are now, and songs that we're developing in the direction that we're heading. Because at the point of the time when we first started writing originals, we didn't even know that screaming in music was an option.
Right.
We didn't even know the genre of metalcore, and we didn't know that we would create our own genre called Beautycore. So I think it has definitely broadened our perspectives and our views towards music and everything, and we're definitely at a different place than we were at when we first started. Yeah, our debut album really, we found ourselves, we found what we wanted to play. So better watch out for album 2.
We'll definitely, probably in 5 years be like, man, why did we think that was our sound? We'll probably, get super dark or something, but for right now, we have found our sound that we like, and it's definitely a shock to our past selves because we definitely did not think this is what we were going to do.
Okay, fair enough. Now, you had mentioned the term that I saw underneath your genre listing on Facebook, as well as Beautycore. Can you describe that as opposed? I mean, we'll hear some of your music during the show, obviously, but describe what Beautycore is.
Well, Beautycore is a new genre that we have made because we had a bunch of comments saying, oh, you sound like this metal band. Oh, you sound like this hard rock band. Oh, you sound like this metalcore band, but you're girls, so you don't really sound like them exactly. But your music is like that, but the vocals give it a whole different kind of feel. And so we had joked around with a bunch of bands like, oh, yeah, we're Beautycore, ha, ha, ha. And they're like, no, that's actually cool. You should call yourselves that because you're like no other band that there ever is. Like, you have a completely new sound. We've never heard anything like that before. We think that's really cool. And so we're like, oh, okay, well, I guess we can just fly with that then. So we'll call ourselves Beautycore. And Urban Dictionary actually picked it up, and they made it a like actual definition in their dictionary thing. And people are kind of latching onto it because it's just something new that they can jump on and be like, yeah, I like this.
Wow, nice. That's cool. That's cool. I could definitely say that I've never contributed to the Urban Dictionary, so I am impressed that you guys have already surpassed me, and you're like all half my age, almost combined, but still. Okay, so you guys have recorded two different things. I mean, y'all did like an EP, and then y'all have recently done the debut record. What was the time like most recently in the studio working with musicians that, like you had said before, have been in bands that you guys grew up listening to?
Well, definitely the first song, I think it was not the same as the rest of the album because it was just complete fangirling the entire time, and we were like so nervous and shocked, and we didn't know what to do because it was our first time being in Nashville and everything. And with school and everything, we had to go up at different dates and everything, so it was a little scattered when we were recording, and that's why it took so long to record it. But definitely the last half of the album that we were doing, it was a really comfortable process, and we were getting things done super fast, and it was really cool having other musicians give their input, say, hey, sing it this way, or play that note that way, and like have it sound like a completely different way and have a bigger sound, and just experimenting with different musical things.
And also having like other musicians like Chu, former violin player Skillet, come and play on our album was super cool.
Yeah, for sure. That's fantastic. I've seen him play once back in the day. Yeah, so that's impressive to have that kind of talent involved for sure. Now,
yeah.
As part of the show, of course, we're going to play a couple of tracks off the debut record. I know that we're going to play Darkness, and I'm pretty sure we're going to play Identity Crisis as well. Would you like to talk about the song Darkness and kind of the meaning behind it and kind of what went into that song?
Darkness was one of our original tracks off of our EP that we decided to pull off the EP and add to the album and kind of revamp it and modernize it and everything. It just talks about how dark the world has become and how if you're not careful and if you're not cautious of how you live your life, you can get trapped in the darkness and you get pulled down. If you have your eyes on God and you have your eyes set on the right place, He can help you pull yourself out of that, and you can shine your light for other people and help them so they're not falling into that same situation as you have.
Okay, I got you. Now, for people who heard the original version, what all do you think that listeners will find different about the new version that's on the new record?
The new version, it's definitely got more of the electronic stuff added. It's got some symphony sounds in it.
It has a new 12-year-old and 16-year-old, 17-year-old voices instead of 9-year-old and 13-year-old voices.
Yeah,
Fair
it
enough.
Sound older. And it's definitely got a fuller sound to it because we were able to just kind of add a little bit more musically since we have improved so much in our playing. So that's definitely the kind of new sound it's got.
Nice. Well, then I'm assuming that the single Identity Crisis is probably one of the newer tracks. Tell us about that one.
Are you talking about Graveyard of Identities?
Sure. Well, hang on just a second. Now I'm confused. See, okay, so Identity Crisis is the name of the record, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, hang on. Let me see. I'm pulling up something here because I was sent a song that I thought was that, but maybe I misunderstood. Hold that thought. Oh, sorry. I wrote down the wrong thing. Yes, I'm thinking of Beneath the Skin. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So Beneath the Skin is our second single that we've been sending out to radio stations, and a couple have picked it up. It starts off with like a person who's crying out for help, and they have kind of lost their way, and they don't see hope in the world. But it's showing you how, even though you've kind of lost control in your life and you don't see the light, you don't see how things could get better, there's like a hope. You can find that in Jesus Christ, that in your life he can show you, you can become closer to him and become better. But it also approaches the topic of how true beauty doesn't lie on the surface. It's not just skin deep. It talks about how your true beauty is on what lies within you, what lies in your state of your soul, and if you're actually close to God, and if you're one with God, and that's your true beauty and the kindness that you show to other people.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. You guys have also done a music video recently. What was the experience like doing that?
That kind of shows us going up to Nashville and us being like fangirling. It was so funny because when we were recording our experience, we didn't really know Jake Jones and Borshaw, and we're now like best buddies. So it was kind of awkward because we were just like shooting them with the camera, and we're like, just act normal. And they're like, okay. It was so funny. But they were nice guys. They kind of goofed around with us, but that was kind of like the whole spirit of that. But
okay, nice, very cool. Now, what is the experience like? And I know that compared to maybe other people, you don't have kind of or other like people who've been in bands, you may not have kind of something to compare it to per se. But what's it like being in a band that is made up of sisters? I mean, what is that like on a day-to-day basis for you guys?
It's definitely a very good situation to have because we can practice like whenever because we all live in the same house. And if one person doesn't want to practice, it's like, well, we're going to drag you out of your room and make you practice because we're sisters and we can do that. But it's definitely really fun, and we can kind of have, like, if one person is thinking big, we all kind of think it twin telepathy, except with 3 people, and we're not twins and we're not triplets. So it's kind of like that. We can.
It's kind of like that, but it's the exact opposite.
It's really fun to just hang out with each other, and there's definitely fights and there's definitely arguments, but it's a really great bonding, I guess, to hang out with each other and play instruments.
Nice.
It also gets really weird in like road trips and stuff. We just came off of a road trip and we spent 30 hours in a car going to wherever we were going and coming back, and it gets pretty weird sometimes. I'm just going to say that. Because some bands, they say, oh, it gets weird because we're bandmates and everything. Well, we already live with each other 24/7 because we're sisters, and then you spend that much time in a car, it gets pretty weird. I'm just going to lay that out there.
Now, I need examples. How does it get weird?
Well, at some point, we definitely start talking to ourselves. We'll just, like, we won't even say words. We'll just make random noises.
At one point, you try and pretend you're trying to escape the van, and you pretend you're Mission Impossible, and you open up the door and pretend you're trying to run out and escape.
Lovely.
There's definitely a lot of dancing and like screaming at the top of our lungs to songs that we like. And we're like, oh, I really like this song, like at the top of our lungs. And there's definitely a bunch of videos that were being made on the road trip. We had my iPod plugged in, and it was playing some like really weird, I don't even know what it was called. It was like some Irish song that I don't even know how to go to my iPod. But Lulu was dancing to it, and it was just some weird dancing going on, like she was a flailing fish or something.
And there's a lot of not pretending you're doing school, but actually like probably watching YouTube or something. And then when mom asks, oh, are you doing school? Yeah, of course I am.
Lovely. I can identify with that. I hear you. You guys are, of course, I guess, about to embark upon what is going to be your first big tour, and your promoter told me that it was okay to talk about it. I don't know if that had gotten conveyed down the line or not, but he said that he had talked with Joe and that it was okay to talk about. So would you like to tell people what this big tour announcement is?
Yeah, we're super stoked about it. It's going to be our first tour. We're super gracious to Joe for letting us be able to jump on the tour pretty last minute. We're going to be going on tour with Seventh Day Slumber, Random Heroes, the Protest, and Scarlet White. And it's going to be a summer tour. We're going to be hitting festivals. We're going to be hitting churches. I don't know all the places. And the lineups or the dates aren't completely scheduled. There's still a couple left. So if there's anybody that wants to book it, just email them info@jbhbooking if you want our tour to come near you, because it's not something you're going to want to miss. It's going to be pretty cool.
Hashtag no guilt, no promo.
Nice. Now, I've got to say, I know some of the guys that you all are going to be touring with. I think I've had all of them on the show at one point or another. But you're gonna be hanging out with a lot of really stinky, sweaty guys for several weeks at least. How are you going to deal with that?
I think definitely just having a bottle of perfume on hand all the time, so I can just kind of spray it in like a film around me, so I can walk.
But I can't say anything because I'm definitely the most sweatiest person out of all three of us after we play, and I wear like a strapless shirt, or not strapless, like a tank top shirt and like leggings, and that's it. And I'm like the sweatiest out of all of us after playing the drums.
Yeah, being a drummer, you can like wring her clothes out. So I think she's gonna probably be up in the ranks with a couple of those guys.
Yeah, the guys are probably gonna be the ones carrying perfume bottles around.
Oh man.
A little whore.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. Well, I'm excited for you guys. That's a great tour opportunity, and it's nice to be able to get to do something like that as your first like real outing as a tour, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Now, are you guys going to be bringing like a roadies with you or anything, or is it just going to be the three of y'all and a bunch of bands?
It's just going to be the three of us and our mom/manager.
Nice.
He's going to be the drummer. Yeah. None of us have our licenses yet.
Oh, okay. I got you. Now,
and I don't trust them driving me.
Right. Now, is there any plans to learn how to drive while being on tour?
Well, that was definitely supposed to happen before we got on tour, but we kind of got caught up with everything going on with the band.
Yeah.
So we definitely been set back on learning how to drive. And you know how funny it would be driving that big transit in our driver's test? That'd be hilarious. Well, and driving kind of gives me a little bit of anxiety. I'm scared to drive with all those other people on the road. I need to get in my way.
So we're probably just going to stick with our mom driving for this tour, you know.
Hey, fair enough. And I mean, there's something nice about that because, a lot of times I think bands end up with a driver that, assuming they have a driver at all, they have somebody that they maybe don't know all that well beforehand, but then they kind of get to know fairly quickly. Well, cool. Yeah. Sweet deal. Well, is there anything else that you guys want to share that we haven't talked about that you want people to know either about the band or about you guys individually or anything like that?
Well, we definitely are playing a couple of shows before the tour.
Okay.
We're going to be playing Rocking in the Name of 2017 Festival on March 12th.
Okay.
It's at St. Mary's United Methodist Church in St. Mary's, Georgia.
Okay.
We're headlining that show. And then in March 18th, we're going to be playing The Haven down in Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
And so if anybody's in Orlando, Florida, you can come out. So it's going to be a fun one. On March 25th, we're going to be playing Murray Hill in Jacksonville, Florida. And on April 27th, we're going to be playing Murray Hill again. And then on April 8th, we're going to be playing Praise Fest in Alabama. So if you heard your state, you can come and see us.
Cool. Now, a time-honored tradition of like true fans of a band, especially when that band is out on tour, is to bring them some sort of snack or like homemade baked good or something. If there's like a true sold-out fan who's going to come see you guys, be it on the tour or just in one of these shows leading up to the tour, what would you guys want them to bring you?
I have to think about that. There's good food out there. I love McDonald's. That's one thing. We always say it on stage. Maggie always gets me because I'm in love with McDonald's.
Nice. What's the standard McDonald's order?
With her, anything. Every time we go to McDonald's, we have to take like 10 minutes. 10 minutes for her to decide what order she wants. She's just like, I can't decide. Too much heavenliness. I love their fries. Good fries.
True. You can't go wrong with McDonald's fries. This is absolutely true.
I definitely like some brownies, though.
All right.
That's-
So there we go. So
If you want to bring me something, bring me some brownies.
there you go. So some brownies and some McDonald's gift cards. We got it nailed. Sweet deal. Well, thank you guys so much. It's been fun getting to know you and talk to you a little bit, and can't wait to see where things go from here. Because I mean, obviously, you guys have a big jump on the average band that usually is thinking about getting started at the age that you guys are at. And so I mean, who knows? You guys could be like the all girl version of U2 in 20 years. You just never know.
Hopefully.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, if you're gonna dream big, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, sweetness. Well, we'll have you guys on again soon, I'm sure, and hopefully we'll get a chance to catch you guys out on the road with Seventh Day Slumber and Random Hero and Scarlet White and The Protest. All great bands, and sounds like a lot of fun. And we'll do it again soon. Okay.
Got you.
Cool. Sweetness.